152 million years ago, long before Tyrannosaurus ruled the Earth, another world belonged to giants.
Every giant begins life surprisingly small.
This was the age of giants, a world where the largest animals ever to walk the earth shaped the forests, rivers, and the future of life itself. For a young giant, every sunrise is another lesson in survival. To survive, this young Diplodocus must master a vital skill. It carefully mimics its mother's every move. This is the dawn of a long... Driven by curiosity, the young Diplodocus ventures away from the herd. In this prehistoric world, every sound and scent is a new discovery. But where there is life, there are predators. An adult Allosaurus, and its focus is on the youngest members. The greatest defense is not strength alone, but the protection of the herd. But they are not the only giants in this forest. Even for a dinosaur this large, these are titans. As the sun sets on the Morrison floodplain, the herd prepares for a long migration. This young dinosaur now walks at the front. A gargantuan migration is underway. Giants move as one, filling the vast Jurassic plain, bound by instincts millions of years in the making. Every giant carries within it the memory of being small, and every step forward is a story millions of years in the making. The search for fresh food may carry these giants across vast distances. A living river of giants flows across the land. This is the largest gathering of dinosaurs on Earth. Moving together, they shape the very landscape, an endless march of titans. To reach the safety of the river groves, the herd must cross a vast sea of ferns. For a young dinosaur, this is a world of hidden dangers. A massive herd is on the move, reshaping the landscape. Life thrives in the shadow of these giants. Every predator knows that exhaustion creates opportunity. Under the relentless Jurassic sun, the herd slows. Every movement is now a calculation to conserve energy. On this ancient floodplain, giants meet giants. Towering Brachiosaurus feed high above the canopy. For a brief moment, Earth's largest herbivores share the forest. The migration enters a confined sandstone canyon. The towering cliffs echo with every footstep. The herd instinctively tightens its formation. Beyond the canyon lies a lush valley, untouched by grazing. Here, the herd finally begins to feed. The juvenile eagerly feeds beside its mother. It has completed the longest journey of its young life. As evening falls, a calm settles over the valley. For these giants, it is a time of peace. The long migration has finally come to an end. In this endless valley, they have found a new home. For every journey completed, another is waiting beyond the horizon. In the age of giants, survival belongs not only to the strongest, but to those who endure. Every kingdom has a ruler, but even a king must earn each meal. To read the land is to survive. Its nose interprets scent trails. The strongest prey is often the worst choice. Here, success requires a different strategy. Rivals acknowledge each other, divided by boundaries of instinct and terrain. In the Morrison Formation, to be separated is to be vulnerable. This young Drysaurus must cross alone, and a predator takes notice. A successful hunt is measured not by power, but by precision. In the shade, the Allosaurus feeds. Above, scavengers wait for their chance. In the intense heat of the afternoon, even top predators must seek the shade. Here, the Allosaurus rests and cools. The giants return to the valley. The Allosaurus watches without moving. Today is not their day. On these ancient plains, a delicate balance persists. Neither predator nor prey truly dominates. Each actively shapes the other's survival. But as evening falls, the weather turns. Apex predators know when to seek shelter. In the dead of night, the forest belongs to a different kind of predator. This adult Allosaurus is a specialist in low-light hunting. On the ridge, the predator surveys its world. A guardian of a lost age. The true king of the Jurassic was not the fiercest, but the one who understood the rhythm of an ancient world. In the Jurassic, every life begins with water. The herd reaches the ancient river's edge. For the young juvenile, it is a moment of discovery. He enters a world ruled by giants. Not every giant hunter chased dinosaurs. Crossing the river requires collective effort. The adults form a living barrier against the current. Beneath the surface, life must yield to giants. A single step shifts an entire ecosystem. The river feeds lush forests of conifers and towering ferns. Here, the landscape feels endlessly alive. As evening falls, the river becomes a focal point. This juvenile Diplodocus, a brief moment of peace in a dangerous world. Empires may rise upon strength, but every kingdom is sustained by water. Here, among the rivers of the Jurassic, life flows without end. Some giants survived not by speed, but by standing their ground. This mature Stegosaurus is a living fortress. Every detail is built for survival in this Jurassic world. Its skin tells a story of survival. A living fortress from the Jurassic. For millions of years, survival favored those who understood risk. This mature Stegosaurus is not looking for a fight, but it is far from defenseless. One strike from these spikes could be fatal. This time, it is just a warning. Sometimes, one perfect defense ends the battle before it truly begins. From a nearby ridge, the juvenile Diplodocus watches the encounter from a safe distance. Another lesson of survival has been learned. This Stegosaurus is a living testament to millions of years of evolution, perfectly adapted to its world. Night approaches on the Jurassic plains. This mature Stegosaurus seeks the safety of the dense fern forest. True strength is not found in endless battles, but in the wisdom to avoid them. For millions of years, the armored defender endured because peace was always its first choice. Even the greatest rivers cannot remain full forever. The dry season begins to take hold. Water is scarce and food is disappearing. To survive, the herd must move again. Hunger drives these massive creatures. Competition here is silent. Every giant needs thousands of kilograms of vegetation to survive. The dry season tests hunters as much as herbivores. As the dry season takes hold, the river shrinks. For this Ceratosaurus, it's a time of opportunity. The dry season arrives on the Morrison floodplain. Even the apex predators must endure the punishing heat. In this tightening drought, every calorie counts. But this target is far too dangerous. The risk outweighs the reward. The late Jurassic world is shifting. The once powerful river is fading away, forcing life to adapt to the coming drought. In the grip of the dry season, relief can take many forms. Every animal senses that change is coming. Every season leaves its mark upon the land, but sometimes the greatest change begins with a single drop of rain. After weeks of drought, weeks of drought, the sky begins to change. After months of crippling drought, the first drops arrive. A life-giving rain begins to fall. Dust settles. The scent of wet earth fills the air. Fern leaves rise once more. After months of drought, the river awakens. The long, brutal drought is finally broken. But with the life-giving water comes a violent shift in power. The Morrison floodplain is transforming. To survive, the herd must cross together. Guided by instinct, the giants prevail. Even the greatest predators must respect the power of nature.
Swollen by the storm, the river breaches its banks, creating new opportunities for this Ceratosaurus.
After months of drought, life returns to the floodplain. Even the smallest creatures rise to meet the storm. As the storm passes, a new dawn begins. Life returns to the Morrison floodplain. The rains have returned, bringing a season of plenty. The young Diplodocus has grown much stronger. Peace is finally restored to the herd. Rain returns, transforming this ancient world. The endless cycle of life begins anew. The storm was never the end, it was the beginning. In the Jurassic, every drop of rain carried the promise of another generation. The smallest member of the herd has become one of its giants. Beside his aging mother, the young subadult now stands nearly eye to eye. Their relationship has changed, but the bond remains. They continue. Rain returns to the rich floodplains of the Morrison. A new generation takes its first breath, safe under the gaze of a giant. In this ancient landscape, life begins anew. A tiny hatchling faces its first great struggle. On the lush Jurassic plains, life begins anew. Vulnerable and small, these hatchlings face a perilous world, ensuring the next generation receives the same protection. High upon the familiar sandstone ridge, the same Allosaurus watches the herd. Time has changed both hunter and prey. Sometimes, the greatest rivals share something deeper than conflict: endurance. In this lush Jurassic world, danger is never far away. But now, the subadult stands as a giant shield, just as its mother once did for it. On the lush floodplains of the Morrison, here, experience triumphs over impulse. The seasonal rains have returned to the Morrison. The subadult back to the river. On the lush floodplains of the Jurassic, giants walk once more. The seasonal rains return, restoring life to the Jurassic. In this restored world, the cycle of life begins anew. The hatchlings confidently follow the herd into the distance. The future now belongs to them. These restored wetlands now support a gathering of giants, a spectacle of life on a scale the world will never see again. No giant lives forever, but every generation leaves behind something greater than itself, the chance for another to begin. For millions of years, every dawn has welcomed another generation. On the lush Jurassic plains, time takes its toll on even the largest giants. Now, the roles have reversed. The offspring becomes the protector. The dry season forces a familiar choice. To survive, the herd must move, led by those who know the way. Fresh hatchlings call softly from hidden nesting grounds. The forest belongs to a new generation. The familiar sandstone ridge is empty. For the first time, the old Allosaurus is nowhere to be seen. Only wind moves across the rocks. Far below, a younger adult Allosaurus surveys the valley. Life continues. Only the individuals have changed. In the wake of the rains, life resets. A new generation finds its stride, guided by leaders, shaped by time. A sweeping aerial montage shows predators, herbivores, rivers, forests, insects, and storms. Every piece belongs. None exists alone. Millions of years. The sun slowly sets. Countless generations have already lived. Countless more will follow. The mature Diplodocus disappears into the forest with the herd. No individual lasts forever. The species endures. Giants were never meant to live forever. Their true legacy was not their size, but the world they helped shape. And though their footsteps vanished millions of years ago,